Okay, I'm going to record this time, hopefully, so I can share it with all the people that aren't able to attend tonight. We have currently 13 people I have that's able to attend tonight, so I appreciate it. I know it was really short notice. We had a challenge getting the Zoom set up, so that's why it took as long as it did for us to get it set up and try to get it to you. So, um, anyway. So we've kind of been just visiting. Anybody have any words that they want to share about the project before we kind of get started with these background logs? Okay, let's jump into it then. So tonight we're starting with the very center log. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. My little camera. And it's going to be this log right here that we're going to start discussing. Let me get my pointer too here. So it's going to be this one right here that we're going to start discussing. And that is log 11. I remember right. Okay.
12 is the center log.
The center of the 12 is the center log 12. Let me grab my pattern here a minute, look at it.
Can we turn that up here?
You're right. John's right. We're going to start with log 12. Oh, somebody else needs in. Hold on just a second. Let me admit her. Okay. So this is log 12 right here. We're starting with that one. Okay. And I thought log 12, it's not hard, but it's just kind of a fussy little thing. And I started again with all of the black in color 317. And I just kind of worked my way down the log. And then I went back and I picked up these little white ones that are over one to complete that block. And then the next one changes direction. And so again, I started up in this corner and just worked my way down. And then I filled in with the little white ones again. Did anybody do that any differently than what I've done?
I work the tent stitches at the very end because I like the difference in the color.
Okay. So John, you did so you did all the black
Right.
and then you came back with the same color, but you have a different variation of that thread and you did
Right.
the tent stitches over one
Oh, yeah.
at the very end. And that would really set off those little tent stitches and give you a nice variation if you do it the way John did it.
Now be careful because the first square in those tent stitches is a reverse tent. And the
Oh,
second one is a tent.
okay. So if you aren't familiar with what John is saying, so if you look in this second
Oh,
block,
yeah.
the little tent stitches are leaning towards the right.
Mm-hmm.
So they're your traditional tent stitches. But then, like in this top one, he's saying they're reverse tent stitches because they're actually leaning to
Mm-hmm.
the left.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can get that where you can see it a little bit better there. Okay. Yep, you're absolutely right, John. Thanks for pointing that out.
It's out of focus.
Okay, is that any better?
Perfect.
Okay. So yeah, so like these are leaning this way, and then if you notice these stitches down here, they're leaning, they're your traditional tent stitch that is leaning towards the right. And that just goes back and forth the whole block down. And then at the very bottom of it, move this here. They kind of show you on the bottom log what that's going to look like in your pattern. Okay. Then we have log 13. I've got a couple pages here. I'm going to get those out of my way. And log 13 I thought was really simple and it went really fast for me. You're just going to do like a mosaic stitch over one, over two, over one, and then you do that same thing again, over one, over two, over one, over one, two, one. And then I hop down to the next row. And these are all the same. They're just leaning towards the right. So they're leaning the opposite direction as the first row. And then that pattern just repeats all the way down. John, did you do all of the dark and then all of the light again on log 13?
I always do that just because I like to see a real difference in the color way they fall.
Okay. And since I am kind of demonstrating this, I tried to do it exactly like it was written on the pattern. And so I did not skip. But if I was just doing this myself, I probably would do it the way John was doing it. Okay. And so that is this stitch right here.
There's other thing to notice is the mosaic stitches are really done backwards than the usual direction of a mosaic stitch.
Correct. Yeah. Most of the time when you see it, they're leaning towards the right.
Correct.
And these are leaning towards the left. But I thought log 13 was really super fast, super simple. Okay, then on to log 14. Okay, and log 14, again, I thought was pretty simple. You have, just going on your diagonals. Kind of once you get started on this pattern, it's just variations of that same diagonal all through the pattern for the most part. Now, again, I did like all of these black ones, and then I skipped up and I did these reverse tent. And then I did these black ones. And I did the 3 traditional tent ones. And then your pattern repeats over and over and over again, all the way down.
I actually did the left column first, that are all slanting in the traditional direction.
Okay, so
And,
you went all the way down here first, John?
yes, but I skipped the line where the tent stitches are.
Okay.
You know why? That's just me.
Okay.
Not just you.
So Lisa, you did it the same way?
I did the black and then I did the white because I did the white in a different color of that particular skein
Okay.
because I liked what Sean was doing and John was doing, and I liked the pattern to pop. And so I'd find out like black is your major color. So that would be the one that I would use, whatever is the dominant color on the skein. And then the 10 stitch that I used was the smaller pieces, the lighter color.
Okay.
And it came out pretty darn good.
Well, the nice thing about this pattern is you can individualize it as much as you want and make it your own. And there's no right and wrong. So,
Think about being creative. I mean, there's no rules with this. It's what you like to do.
right. Okay, when you get ready to start the bottom part of this log, just kind of note that there's 2 rows of tent stitches there. And it looks kind of funny, but if this pattern was the full pattern, you'd have this one over 1, then you'd have this one over 2. You just don't see that full extended mosaic there at the top, and that's why you have those 3 partial pieces, or those 3, gosh, those that part of the pattern there.
It's just compensating stitches.
Yes, compensating stitches. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
And you don't really notice it per se.
No, you don't. And so just continue on all the way to the bottom on log 14. Anybody have any more questions on log 14? Okay, let's move on to good old log 15 then. And let's see, that's going to be 12, 13, 14, 15. Let me see if I can move my camera down just a smidget here. Okay, so we're getting to the top where you're only going to do one little log at the top of these. Let's see if I can move down just a little bit more. Okay. So if you look at your pattern on page 8, you have 15, 16, 17, and 18, and they just give you a single block at the top because that's all you're going to be stitching. And then the real pattern starts at the bottom where you have a much longer leg, and they give you that pattern there. So if you look at log 15, again, this one is really easy. You kind of have that reverse mosaic stitch here in the corner, and then you just fill in all the way around it over three threads. And then when you start the pattern at the bottom, it's just going to switch for this part of the block. And then the next one is you've got your mosaic on the other side. And it just kind of goes back and forth. And for those
Just
that
don't
ahead.
get your pattern too far away because I had to rip it out. Because I went the wrong way because I wasn't I was watching TV and not really paying attention. And then I looked back at the pattern and went, uh-oh. So I did a little bit of ribboning.
Yeah, you can kind of get on a roll on this one, and you're like, I could just finish this up without even looking. And then you look over at the pattern and you go, oh crud. Oh crud.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I did that a few times too, thinking I have this pattern down. I don't need to look at this pattern. And yeah, it happens. Okay, and then there's good old log 16.
I hated 16.
Thank you.
This one's complicated.
I hated 16 also. In my notes, I wrote, it's a pain. And the only redeeming quality of log 16 is that it's pretty little. You don't have to do it for too terribly long, but I agree. I thought log 16 was just a pain. It's lots of counting, and I had a hard time coming up with the rhythm of, so you're over one, if you're, I'm looking at the black, and then you're over two and over one again. And then you're going to do this over three, over two, over three. And then you've got this little over one, over two, over one again. But then you do a little compensating over one down here. And then you fill it with these tent stitches. I don't know. I just thought it was very finicky.
And it looks weird.
It looks weird. Let's see. Let me see if I can. Okay, it's this one.
No, the next one over.
Okay. Yep.
It's the one
It's
with
got
the
that pink
bars
one.
and the one line.
Okay. So I'm gonna see if I can. So it's this one here. Where's my thing? It's kind of this pink looking one. And yes, so you've kind of got these bars that kind of go through the middle of it, but they
Nope.
don't, but the
Over.
bars don't carry through. I don't know. I thought in some of these you could really see the bars, like this one. And then this one you couldn't really hardly see the bars at all. And then the next one you could really see the bars kind of going through it. And then the next one it was really light. Yeah. So put a star next to 16 that it's just a pain. Whoop. So 16 doesn't, it sounds like it's not the favorite of a lot of people.
Mm-mm.
So don't
is
try to watch,
one you-
don't try to
You
watch
did not watch a good movie with 16.
right. Yeah. Don't try to watch the Super Bowl when you're doing number 16.
No,
Because it's gonna,
you screwed up.
yeah, you're gonna mess it up. So pay attention on log 16 because it is just a pain. Log 17. After you had this horrible one at 16, I thought log 17 went pretty quick because you've got all these reverse tent stitches here. And then it just, to me, it was real logical. You've got three that are over two, and then you've got an over two, over one, over two. I don't know. This all just kind of made sense to me. It it made my brain happy. Anybody else have any thoughts on 17?
Yeah, go to the bottom.
Okay.
Okay, do not do like I did. The black is 6 lines. The white is 5 lines, not 6. So if you look
Okay.
like you're in pattern, you have 5 lines of black. 6 lines of black, then you have only 5 lines of white. I did 6.
Because that first line is taken up with this black.
Yep, but you only have 5 white.
One, two, three, 4, 5. Yep.
Yeah. I did 6 and did a lot
Okay.
of it out. So please don't do that. That was hard.
Okay. And that's why we do this stitching, is so we can learn from the people that have already done it and go, oh, let me put a little note there, put a star beside that there's only 5 white going down there and not 6.
And all the black are sets of 6. So
Yep. And all the black would be 6. So you're going to do 1 and then you're going to reverse it. And it also made sense to me when I looked at it that the white kind of just carried straight through.
Mhm.
It kind of almost made like stripes down the center of it. If that all kind of those made stripes as I was stitching it. But yeah, 17 made me happy. Anybody else have any words of wisdom on 17?
just watch your count of the stitches because it's really easy to do the 1, the 2, the 3, then it's, oh my gosh, 2, and then 2, and then the next one is 2, then, oh yeah, 1, and then 2,
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
2, 2, 2. Yeah, that one, you really got to look for it because you're not expecting it.
Yeah, because you
But
kind of get on
great.
a roll here. Over 1, over 2, over 3, over 2, over 2, over 2. What? Over 1? Right there. That'll catch you. You're right. Okay. Let's go on to log 18. On this one, I did all of the outside of it first. And then I did across the middle. And then I just put in those little white ones. And that one went pretty fast. There was a logic to that I could just move right along on that one. And then at the bottom, you just repeat that pattern over and over again. There's no reversing that stitch every other time you get to a different part of the pattern. Just keep stitching away, and then at the very bottom of it, you're going to have 2 rows of tent stitch. Did anybody do log 18 any different than that?
Other than I did the black with the white, which was the prominent color in that particular strain, and then I did the white in the blue, and it pops.
It pops. I bet it does. Yeah. Okay. On to 19. 19 is the top one is 2 blocks long. You're going to repeat this pattern twice. And I did down the center first. Most of the time I do the black first, but on this one I did down the center. Over 1, over 2, over 1, all the way down. And then I went in and filled in the black on both sides of it. And then the next block is the same thing, only nope, it's exactly the same thing. I was going to say you reverse direction, but you do not. You just repeat that pattern all the way down. So number 19 is pretty easy. Okay, let's talk about log 20. I thought log 20 was a little tricky.
Excessively.
You know, it makes me so happy when other people go, I thought that one was tricky too. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me let my dogs in.
It wasn't tricky, it was a pain.
Yeah, it rates right up there with 16.
Yeah, as in, it's nice. I will never, ever do it again willingly.
Yes, I agree with that completely. So at the top of this is all compensating. And then your pattern kind of starts, let's see here. Your patterns, yep.
Your pattern's the whole thing because it's too long. And that's really not the whole pattern. The whole pattern actually doesn't happen to the bottom.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so on log 20, it's been a while since I've done this. Okay, so this is the top log here on this side. And then it is so tricky that she graphed out the entire bottom log in that one. And I think part of the reason that this one is so tricky is because for a while you're doing over 2, and then you switch and you're doing over 3, and then you're doing over 2 again, and then you're doing over 3 again. And it's just a lot of counting with reverse tent in between.
And I just noticed something I didn't see before. The top 2 pieces have got like the 3 extra on it. No, on the bottom. Go to the right. There we go. The top 2 designs have got the extra 3 singles. And then the next 2 don't have any extra singles at all. And the next 2, well, the next 3 don't have singles. And then all of a sudden, the next 3 have got those extra 3 singles. There is no one pattern on this.
No.
This is one, there is no one pattern anywhere. It's pretty.
It
but
is
it
pretty.
sucks.
You just got to count.
Oh my Lord, yeah. And this is one of those times you get a sticky note and you use the sticky note to help track where you are because you will get lost too easy. It's an optical illusion.
Yes, it is.
Can you show your finished one so we can, and maybe pin, you might want to pin yourself because can you show the finished one that we can kind of see what you're even talking about?
Let's see here. Okay. Let me look where I'm at here.
It's the 4th one in from the right. If that helps.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. It is right
Oh.
there.
That particular pattern, but it's above it.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You're on the right one, but the pattern we're looking up is right above where your
Okay,
pointer
right
is.
here. Okay.
Yes.
I was like, something is not right here. Okay. It's not showing up really well.
It's
Okay.
light.
Let me see if I can flip my pattern and show you the bottom part of it. Whoop. Okay. Hold on just a second. I got somebody else. It is going to be this one right here.
It's the pink one. Yeah.
Yep. And so you have these wide ones and then these narrow ones.
And you have the extra 3. It's like a string. Like right there. Yeah,
Yep.
right there at the top of that one.
Yep.
And it doesn't make any darn sense, but it's just there.
Yep.
And then it's not.
Yep. So anyway, like I said, on that one, 20 is tricky. So make sure you're doing lots and lots of counting. Try and find where my little pointer is.
Yeah, that one.
Yep. Make sure you do lots and lots of counting on that one.
And like I said, I found it a whole lot easier to find a sticky note and have the sticky note show me which pattern I'm on, because they're real easy to get mixed up if you're not paying attention.
Yep.
And if nothing else, a sticky note will make you slow down.
Right. Yeah. Put a post-it note and kind of just move it down your pattern as you're working on it. Great idea. I wish I had thought about that earlier. Okay. Let me flip this around again. See if I can get us to the right spot. Okay.
3 in.
Okay, log 21.
Oh.
I thought go ahead.
No, I just got jumped off on my cat.
Okay. I thought log 21 initially looked tricky, but once I kind of got going on it, I thought it was pretty easy. And I just kind of worked it in quadrants. I kind of worked like this quadrant, over 1, over 2, over 2, over 2, over 1, and then I jumped to the next one. Over 1, over 2, and kind of worked around in a circle till I got that one done. And then I did my 4 little corners, and then I hopped down and I did the same thing. And I just kind of worked around the different quadrants of the next one down.
Look at the black as if it's hearts.
As if it's hearts.
A type of heart without the divot.
There is a divot. They're
It's
just
not like a
diagonal.
big one. And I did the left-hand side, then did the right-hand side, and then did the fill-in. I do not recommend that.
Okay.
Because
So
you can't see it.
So you did the left hand. Oh, so
I
you
did
did
all the way down the left in the black, and then I came back and did the right-hand side in the black. Then I started filling in all the whites. Don't do that.
no.
Because you get to the point if you cannot find the whites without a magnifying lens, it ain't worth it.
So yeah, so you went down kind
Yep.
of like like that.
Yeah. And then I came down and did the right side. Then I filled in all the whites. Don't do that. It's
Yeah.
too hard. Do if it like one pattern all the way around at a time. It will make your life much less hectic.
Yeah, it never crossed my mind to do it that way. Like I said,
I
I just saw it as kind of go around the circle.
I wish I had.
So anybody else do it some other way? Okay. And like I said, that one is a repetitive all the way down. I found it pretty easy, but it's time consuming because it has lots of over ones. So you're not going to it's not going to be one of those where you finish that block in no time at all. It's slow and steady. And then you get to block 22, and it has lots of over 2 threads. And so you can really go to town on that one. And so, I just did this little corner, and then I just went all the way down with the white. Let's see if I can move it up a little bit. I went all the way down with the white. Then I hopped up here and I went all the way down with the black. And I just kept working my way down that block. Now that one again would probably be really pretty if you did like just all the black and then go back and do all the white, because you would really see the variation in that block if you did that. Because if you see, let's see, I think it is this one here. You don't see a lot of variation in mine. Okay, and then the last block before we get to the 2 side blocks. And this one went really quick for me too, because it has these long mosaics. And so I just worked the white, and then I worked the black, and then I worked the tiny black ones and filled in and got that whole block done. And then I moved down to the next one. But that one would look very nice if you just did one color and then did the other one, so you would see the variation also in that.
It's a pain in the butt to do fussy cutting, but it really was worth the effort.
Oh yeah, I bet it was. And see, in ours, it's this blue, and I don't know whether there's enough variation there with
And
our
there's your
blue
purple.
to even make it where you would see the fussy cutting enough.
Well, you've got the way the lighting is, you can see the light and the dark blue in the top two. And then the third one, you get a little bit of the purple.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a pain to do. But I would do, and I haven't done that particular one yet, but I'm going to do the little bitty ones, probably in the purple, because that looks like it's the least amount that you got to work with.
Okay. So you're going to do this white.
In one shade.
Okay. And then do all the black kind of going around it in another shade, or
yeah, and then
do it 3 different and do these 4
yeah.
tent stitches separate too.
Yeah, because based on seeing what you did, there's not that much purple.
Right.
And so that would be what I would use for the least amount of anything, and that would be the black slashes.
Okay. Yep, these 4 right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then it should maybe, well, I mean, the colors are so pale, you don't really see it all the time.
Right.
Which makes it really hard to fussy cut. But I found out it was worth the effort if you can make it fly.
Yeah, I've really thought about doing this a second time and just getting into my watercolors and just choosing something completely different. But we'll see if that happens or not. Because I do have a few other projects that I need to work on. As do many of you that I know well. So anyways, so that's log 23. That's all that we were going to discuss, according to my original schedule. But I think what we'll do is we will quickly talk about the left, the right log, and the border. And then our next meeting in February, we'll just have a show and tell and let everybody show off what they've gotten done. So that's your motivation. We're going to have a show and tell at the next meeting, our next stitch in, and everybody show us how much or how little you've gotten done. And hopefully you're close to being done. So we'll do that the 1st of February. Okay. So then after you get all those little tiny, those blocks done above and below your heart, then you're really in the marathon. So you have a block that goes all the way down the left side of your pattern. And it's on mine. So let's see if I can get the light where it's shining on it better. Let me try to turn this off. I'm not sure that helped at all. Okay, I'm playing with my lights here a minute, see if I can get it where it's better for you. Maybe that's better, I don't know. Nope, I don't think that's better. Whew.
Okay, so it's
Okay,
kind of white and a baby blue, I think.
yes it is. And so this one down the left side is between the edge of your heart and the border. And it again shows it charted 3 different areas, all in color 146. So, there may be lots of you that do all the dark black lines first and then go and do the light black and then go back and do the white. There's lots of possibilities here on how you're going to tackle this long block. But it just reverses. One side, and then it goes the opposite angle, and then you start repeating your pattern again. This side, and it just reverses until you get all the way down to the bottom of it. See, this is for the log in between the left. I'm reading my instructions here. The chart shows 2 repeats of the pattern starting at the top of the log, and continue repeating the pattern until you get to the bottom of the log. And so I'm just, as we're watching lots and lots of football at my house, I am working my way down my log on that side.
And I just noticed the background on 23 is the same colors as this left log.
Yep. So yes, so when you finish this last log, over here, let's see if I can get it. Yeah, anyway, when you finish the log on 23, don't unthread your needle. Just go to the first log, that's the left log, and carry on, because it is exactly the same thread.
Did you say you're doing the large, like the dark black lines first, kind of all the way down, or no?
I did.
Uh-huh.
Most of the time I did all the black lines first.
Uh-huh. To get yourself going on it, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then I usually did the light black or the skinny black lines, and then I always kind of did the white very last.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked mine kind of top to bottom because she had kind of said in the opening instructions, work it top to bottom, don't change colors. But I really like the way some of these look. The people that have used switched out their colors a little more often.
Mhm.
But again, that's totally up to you. It's your piece. Do what you want.
Mhm.
And then the right log. Again, it's going to be this light pink that I have here.
With that.
And it's going to go all the way from the top to the bottom. And I thought the right log was a whole lot easier than the left log for me.
Mhm. And number 16, the one that all of us hated, that's the
Yes.
same color as the far right log.
Yep. So you can see it's, your pattern is kind of over 2 here. And then you've got reverse tint. And then you've got the larger over 1, 2, 3 threads. The reverse tint. Now be careful because it changes where it's located at. So over here you had your tent stitches on the left. And then when you start again, the tent stitches are going to be on the right the next time. So it does do some flip-flopping back and forth. And you'll see that she has the pattern repeat right here, that thin line right there.
That's not a true repeat.
Let's see.
Yeah, it is a true repeat.
Yeah, I think it is a true repeat.
It is.
It's just a very long section.
It is a
For-
long, yeah. It's probably one of the longest repeats that she has on this piece. And you're just going to continue this repeat until you get to the bottom of the log.
And so your last line should be that just one singular line, right?
Yes, at the very, very bottom, it should be this single row of reverse tent stitches. Okay, and then finally, to finish up this piece, you're going to work the border. And I'm going to recommend that as you're working these outside long, once you have the border established, I started, or when I've got the left log started, I went ahead and I started this border up here because I knew that this was going to get really boring. And that would be a thing that might make this piece go into my whip pile for a long time if I didn't put it in. So in reality, what I'm doing is I'm working on either the left or the right long log, that outside log, and then I'm doing a little bit of this border. And then I'm working on my log again, and I'm doing a little bit more of that outside border to get that done. So I'm making progress on it. I'm not halfway across the top yet, but I'm making progress. And I've started down it a little bit too. Okay, so now in her instructions, let me see if I can get this set for you. Having to move a few things here. Okay. So in her instructions, she says to work the logs in 4x4. Let me see exactly how she words it. Okay. The chart at the right is the top left corner of the border. Stitch alternating squares around the border as outlined on the chart. Okay. So and she says, I stitched each group of 4 12x12 thread squares before moving to the next group to avoid having 2 rows of different colors. So I have seen somebody stitch this, and they did all just this outside square all the way around the outside of it. And then they went back and they did the very outer
So they
square.
did the inner square and then the outie square?
Yes. So they did like 2 loops around the piece, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do it that way. Again, this is totally, you're the artist. You can do it however you want to do it. But then you could have, if you do it that way, there's a possibility that you could have a lighter purple and then a darker purple on top of it. Whereas if you kind of do it in groups of 4, your colors stay together. You see more of a color change as you move across your border. So this would kind of all be done, and then I would move over and I would do this group of 4, and that's the way I'm doing it.
Can we see your piece again so we can look at the
Sure.
colors, please?
Now I have not stitched these center little tent stitches in the middle there yet. So those are still empty.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Because I'm looking at like the third and fourth on the left-hand side. The third row is more purpley
Yep.
than 1, 2, and 4. Yeah, that's more purpley
Yep.
than 1, 2, or 4.
Right.
I think this is exactly the same pattern as log number 12 in the middle. So look at what it does there.
Yes. It does
Mhm.
look like it's the exact same log
It
as the log that's down in the center of it.
It is, and the way it's looking, like you were saying, John, it's even though it's the same thing, it's the angle that changes the lighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So going down the center, it's like every other one is dark and every other one is light. Even though all the difference, it's not the thread change, it's the angle of which the light hits the thread that makes it light and dark.
I don't know. I'd forgotten. I didn't change my direction when I did mine, but I can see a color change even with the threads all going the same way. So it's a combination of the two.
Ah.
Okay, so you're saying all of yours are leaning the same direction.
Yeah, I figured that out at the bottom, and I'm not changing it. I changed my center dot differently, so
Whatever works.
Yeah. There's
Rhonda,
no judgment here.
No, there's just, if you're gonna screw up consistently so nobody will know the difference.
I
Right.
did it on purpose. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Rhonda, did Joyce talk to you about the fact that there's 25
Lines.
that you can't do? It doesn't come out evenly if you're doing four. You've got an extra row at the end, an extra pair of border.
Joyce did talk to me about it. And
Yeah, I just wanted everybody else to, it
yes.
doesn't come out evenly and it's not your fault. There are 25
straight lines.
25 things across. There's an uneven number of rows, so you can't
Well,
do
you
4, 4, 4, 4. You're gonna think, oh, where did I mess up?
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Because there's 25 rows in the heart.
Yeah, because you have the center, you have to have the odd number because the center, you can't split the center in half.
Right,
Right.
right. Just so you know you're not making a mistake. That's the main thing. She was like, I kept looking back. So,
Yeah.
I'm
That,
glad you pointed that out because I'd read it, but just then it clicked.
I'm nowhere near there. Joyce has been finished forever. So
yeah, there's been numerous people that have
yeah,
finished, and I've seen lots of pretty pieces.
yes. But just
So,
since she's not here to point that out.
Is
yep.
everybody doing in watercolors or is anybody changing your thread? Like to something besides watercolors?
Well, Sean was going to do that, and when I
Uh-huh.
saw her in December, she had had a family, a death in her family. So she put it aside because she just couldn't do the heart at
Oh,
the
yeah.
moment.
Okay.
But she had talked about it. In fact, when I talked to her, I said, "Well, are you going to try and continue doing the metallics and the sequins and stuff?" And she says, "Right now, I can't even look at it." And I went, "I understand," because it was her mother who passed.
Well,
So it's too hard right now.
okay. Because
But yeah, she was
but a
going
lot of
to
Kathy
do,
Reese's patterns, like Kathy Reese is good about sticking different kind of things in there, is what I was saying.
ah,
Because I have a lot of we take her at the Dallas group, we've taken her a lot. So I'm used to her patterns. So that's what I'm wondering if I would maybe use different thread types. And the reason she does is that she likes texture. Um,
I've heard that somebody was going to put metallic in theirs.
that
mhm.
was Sean.
They were going to be using a lot of acrylic. I've not seen that piece yet. So, and I also trying to think who it was. Somebody, instead of using the canvas, decided to do it on linen. They're doing
Wow.
all of the same stitches, but they're doing it on linen and using silk threads.
Ooh,
I
that'll be pretty.
I do not. I remember her saying it, but I don't remember who it was. But Sean was going to do the sequins and the metallics and the acrylic and velvet.
Metallics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was going. I'm going to go stash crazy and have fun.
Now, where was she going to put the sequins?
She was yeah, like the dots
Okay.
instead. Well, like perfect example, the center one.
Yes.
It has all those little bitty things. She was going to put sequins in for those
Mhm.
over ones. She was going to put whatever she had on hand that worked with that particular thread.
Okay.
And maybe Saturday I'll see what she's done. If she's even decided to um take it out of the UFO pile. But like I said, it's right now it's too close to her heart.
Right.
Maybe they could send a picture in if they don't want to come to the Zoom next month. Maybe they could send a picture to Rhonda and then Rhonda could say, this is some examples, you know what I mean? Because I feel like changing some of the thread out, but I don't mind changing the thread out because I think it would add interest. I think this is very beautiful, but I'm just saying like somebody said earlier, like if you felt like making it your own, you know.
The
Well,
only
and we have a varied group. We have
Mhm.
people that have been stitching for a really long time that are confident stitchers that can
Mhm.
do that and be very successful doing that. And then we have a surprising number of people that have never worked on canvas before.
Oh, I get you. And it'd be hard to change. Yeah.
And so, this is a challenging piece if
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
you've never stitched on canvas before. I have numerous people in my guild that have never stitched on canvas. All they've done is counted cross stitch. And so they're loving it. They're learning a tremendous amount,
Well,
but
that's good.
it's a challenging piece
Yeah.
for a brand new stitcher.
Yeah. I will just yeah, I will back you up on that, Rhonda. I'm one of the people that has never done canvas before. And, I was real intimidated to begin with, and I'm a little bit more than halfway done. So, just know
You
that.
Way to
go,
Yay!
girl!
go.
Yay!
But, so I wouldn't change up the threads at this point. I just want to learn, you know, just how to do it, just the basics. And it's really been a lot of fun. So
Well,
I'm
the only
loving it.
one I changed because I just thought it was just like way too dang much. If you look at Rhonda's, look at that first row, it is so dark. I'm just like, no. So I changed that one
Oh,
to a lighter color, and it really,
You're not in
yeah,
focus,
that
Rhonda.
first row, it's almost like black purple, and I just went, nope, not no,
yeah,
nope,
this one right here.
That's a
yeah.
TCU. You need more of that. That's a TCU color. We need more of that color.
Well, I'm so sorry. I'm Texas Women's University and U of H, so I'm red and white. Bite me. Um, but no, and I do love purple, but that was just too much. So I changed it to another one that had like 3 and 4 shades in it, and it really lightened up the entire piece. But that's the only one I really, really I couldn't even start it because I couldn't get over that being so dark. That and I was terrified to draw it off because I've never drawn anything on canvas before, freehand per se. And Sean looked at me and she says, Lisa, I love you. Just do the stupid thing. And if you screw up, who cares? It's going to get covered. And I went, okay. And I did screw up. I
I
missed the
messed
count
up
by
drawing
one.
mine, and that's why mine isn't started, but I need to move past.
Well, it's like Sean said, and thank God for Sean. She said, if you screw it up, you screw it up. It's going to get covered. Nobody's going to know you screwed up but you, unless you point it out to them and then you've given away the secret. But the bottom half of mine, from like the fourth one in, is off by one line because I did the right hand side, then I copied it to the left hand side, and I copied the mistake, and then went, what the heck? And found it, and then went, okay, Lisa, life happens. Remember, it's an extra line at the bottom that you drew in stupidly, and walk on. And guess what? It doesn't show. So, Sean helped me get over the paranoia of screwing up. Nobody's going to see it unless you
Well,
point it out.
and my philosophy is finished is better than perfect.
And if they don't like it, they can do the next one.
And chances are, and if a year or two from now, you won't even know where you messed up.
Or care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a major mistake in mine too. As far as if I look really carefully, I've got the slant wrong. I did two slants the same direction, or I switched midway. I don't know. I did something weird. But anyway, so be it. There's
Well,
enough going on in this piece, nobody's going to spot it.
well, the cool part is now you have got the Amish blessing because nothing is perfect but God. So now you've got your mistake, walk on.
Yep. And actually, I might be able, I don't know whether I could show you in this right, I think it's right there that the logs were reversing direction this way, that way, this
Yeah,
way. Yep. And there's three. They're all the same direction, right there. But
and
that's
guess what? Unless you made a point of it, I would have never seen it.
no,
Mm-mm.
no.
Nope.
And and I thought I'm not going to rip. I looked at it for a little while, and I thought, am I going to rip this out? And I thought, nope. Nope, I am far enough down on this log and there's enough going on. Nobody's going to see that.
Well,
That one log is going the wrong way.
the shades are such that it's not like I was talking about the other one. Depending on which way the shade turns, it will come out a different color. But these, because they're dark and they're really, really close, you don't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to get 2 inches from my big screen to see it. So I mean, hello.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it.
Uh-uh.
Carry on, carry on.
Well, I mean, and the fun part about it is you have a rotten niece or nephew that's being a real pain in the six, and you go, sweetheart, there's a mistake in there. Can you find it? And walk away.
Oh.
Hey, I'm a teacher. I mean, I like
I
people.
I always say you're not posting the chart next to your finished piece, so who knows if it's wrong.
And even then, who the heck can read the stupid chart?
You you guys are my friends. I just love the way you think. Great minds think alike.
Either that or teachers trying to figure out every way a student can totally screw it up and fix it before then.
Yep. So,
And I'm
okay.
talking about
Your piece
elementary,
is
not
beautiful,
adult.
Rhonda. It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
turning out
Appreciate you
gorgeous. It really
spending
is.
all this time helping us.
Oh, it's been fun.
It is beautiful. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
how do we figure out how to frame this sucker when we finally get that far?
Well, we're going to talk about that at the next meeting. Give it some thought. Are you going to frame it? Are you going to put it on a pillow? I have a friend.
Let my freaking cats get near that work. You're nuts. All I need is one to throw up on it.
I have a friend that's going to put it on a bag in my guild. So think about it. What are you going to do with it? And we'll talk about all that next month. Show us your piece. That's your motivation. Show us your piece next month.
The only thing I know is that at least in Fort Worth, Mindy Cannon swears by Michael's. There's one or two other places, but I think most of them are closed now. But she always, waits to get the coupons at Michael's.
Yeah.
And has them framed at Michael's, and everything I've seen her done, because she does the silk embroidery and stuff, they're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Okay, ladies, well let's call it a night.
Night.
And
Good night.
I will talk with most of you in 1 month. Happy
Thank you.
stitching.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye. I'll get out of here. All right, where do I sign out?